How are you?
Hi, Suzanne.
How are
Hi,
you guys
Suzanne.
doing? All right.
Wait,
I was just telling the actors I watched both series last night. So
oh, really?
yeah, I'm
Good.
sorry,
And
not both last night. The second one yesterday and the first one the day before, but I enjoyed them.
okay, good. And you're still talking to us. We're really happy. Excellent. Good.
Oh yeah, good drama. Nothing I like more than a good drama.
Good. Good.
And how closely does the series stick to the books?
Pretty close. So before Patrick acquired the rights, the rights were with a different television company, and I didn't have a great experience with the writers. So when they came up for renewal and my agent went out again with them, I actually had a little bit of a bidding war, and I chose Patrick because I knew that Patrick was going to write them, and what he talked to me about the stories and how he saw dramatizing them and adapting them, I thought, yeah, that's who I want, please. So they're pretty close. He has to make changes. They are the TV series, The Tower. They are not my books, but they're really close. And he's very faithful to the spirit of them, what they're about, the characters and so on. But obviously he makes them into very thrilling and exciting television, squeezes them into 4 hours, what is a 300-page book.
Okay. And Patrick, I read that someone told me that you updated it a bit for more modern sensibilities. Not that the books are that old, but
Right. Yes. Kate wrote them in 1923. So I put them to the, no, it was funny, isn't it, Kate? It's basically, they were written 2014, 2015. So quite a lot has changed in 6 or 7 years. So really, I haven't changed much at all, because I bought them because I loved them. I mean, they're just wonderful, wonderful novels. Forget crime stories, they're just great novels. The one big change that Kate and I discussed very early on, and Kate agreed to, was making Lizzie, who is a White Street cop, rookie cop in the books, into Lizzie Adama, who's a Black Street cop. So that we had Sarah Collins, white detective, Lizzie Adama, black police constable. And that just, especially, you've seen the first story, it all hinges on an issue of race. Sure. Did her colleague say something to a 15-year-old Muslim girl or not? And did she hear it? And that's why, again, I love Kate's writing. This whole novel basically turns on this 1 minute and who heard what. And so that sort of subtlety I knew would be much more powerful if I could have a young black police officer subjected to all those pressures of whether she should defend her colleague or not, rather than a white police officer. And it was, so that simple change just, I think, made a great book even more interesting as television.
Sure. Yeah. Will there be a third season based on the third book, or will it depend on how well this season goes?
Our fingers are crossed.
Oh, okay. I never know. Right.
Yes, you never know.
Because the ending left so much open for the next.
Well, obviously she's now written 4. When I read the books late in 2019, that she'd written 3. The third book is Gallows Tree Lane. And you can see what I've done. I always live in hope, is I've set up the Jimmy Akimbola and Emmett J. Scanlon. Their story is just like dotted through the episodes. So if we get a third series, we will see that story play out. And Gallows Tree Lane is a wonderful, wonderful novel. It really is. So I really hope we can bring them to an audience, because I think they will really work.
Great. And Kate, how involved were you, if any, with the show itself?
So Patrick's been very generous. I hadn't worked in television before. I did a tiny bit of filming, but I hadn't really worked in television as a writer at all. And Patrick's been very generous. He's really included me. He's wanted my opinion. He's asked me questions. So I think I'm more involved than many authors that I speak to, who just sort of sell their books and then they're hands-free on them. And it's been a really interesting experience learning about the process of writing it and seeing Patrick's drafts and how he writes and so on. Yeah.
Okay, and I read an article that there was an independent review that came out recently stating that London's Metropolitan Police is institutionally racist, misogynistic, and homophobic, and unable to police itself. I'm guessing that as a former police officer, this doesn't surprise you?
Well, I would sort of tackle that more as a writer now, and I'd say that the first book talks about it's an investigation into an allegation of corruption, and it's the kind of corruption that, in a sense, the Casey report's talking about. It's not taking bundles of cash corruption,
Right.
it's covering each other's backs corruption, and that it looks at the mechanics of that and how that might work. So I do not want to throw my colleagues under the bus, and never will. I think it's complex, and I think I can't do sound bites about it. I can't tweet about it. I can't try to sum it up. And that's the beauty of drama, that drama, you can put a story like Postmortem onto the screen, and it's a dramatic story. You follow them, you feel for all of those characters, you are interested in them, you see why they took the actions they took, and you are given the power to look at that and to decide and to think about it. And I think I feel very privileged that I've had the opportunity to do that. And that's what I want to carry on doing with my writing, really. Writing for me is partly being able to go into like a creative space where I can have these characters and put them in situations and think about it.
Okay, great answer. And are you working on more books in this series or other books right now?
So I've written the 4th book in the series, which is out in August, which is The MISPER. And it's about a thing that we have in Britain called county lines, where children are trafficked into drug dealing and they're trafficked into the countryside. I have to say, I'm really pleased with it. I think it's brilliant. I think I shouldn't have said that when I'm writing, but I do love it. I love the characters, and I love how, again, Sarah and Lizzie and the characters get an opportunity to adapt and change and process and think. And they're never in one place. They're always moving forward, and everything's like life. You never reach really the solution. So yeah, I mean, I won't write them indefinitely. They will come to an end. I won't write them beyond their life, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
I can say, having read the manuscript of MISPER, it's brilliant.
Oh,
That's
great.
fine.
It really is.
It's perfectly fine to say it's really good. You like it, even if it's your own work. I understand. Hey, it's better than hearing somebody say, "Oh, I hate it. It's so terrible." You know?
Well, that's what we usually do. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's okay. But
Oh, it's okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think I don't think they're giving me any more time, but I really appreciate you guys talking to me, and I hope it does really well and we get more in the series.
We're
Thank
delighted, really delighted you enjoyed it. It's great. Great
Thank
to
you.
hear. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Suzanne.